You see that blurry photo making rounds on social media right now? The one from Kris Jenner's birthday bash that has everyone talking? Yeah, we need to dive into this because the internet is absolutely losing it over what appears to be on Justin Bieber's pants in that snapshot. Before you go anywhere, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm dropping tea like this every single day, and you don't want to miss what's brewing in celebrity world. So picture this. Kris Jenner just turned 70 and threw what can only be described as the party of the year. All the big names showed up dressed to impress, and the cameras were flashing like crazy. Justin Bieber walked in looking sharp with his signature style, but something caught everyone's attention, and it wasn't his outfit choice, or his hair, or even who he brought as his plus one. It was a white substance that appeared to be sitting right there on his pants in plain view for all the cameras to capture. The moment that photo hit the internet, it spread faster than wildfire, and suddenly everyone had an opinion about what exactly they were looking at. Now let me tell you what people are saying, because the rumors started flying immediately. Some folks took one look at that photo and jumped straight to conclusions, claiming they knew exactly what that powder was. The speculation went wild, with people throwing around serious accusations about substances and partying and all sorts of things. Comment sections exploded with theories and hot takes, and suddenly this one photograph became the center of a massive online debate. But here's where we need to pump the brakes for a second, because making assumptions about something like this is actually pretty serious business. Think about it for a moment. There are actually dozens of innocent explanations for white powder on someone's clothing at a party. Maybe he brushed past a table where someone spilled powdered sugar from dessert. Could have been setting powder from makeup that transferred when he hugged someone. Cigarette ash is another possibility if he or someone near him was smoking. Even something as simple as chalk dust or residue from touching a painted wall could leave marks like that. The lighting at these events is often deliberately dramatic, which can make things appear way different than they actually are in person. But the internet, being the internet, decided to run with the most scandalous possibility without considering any alternatives. Social media detectives came out in full force, analyzing the image from every angle and declaring with absolute certainty what they believed they were seeing. Fan accounts started sharing the photo with captions that treated speculation as confirmed fact. Entertainment blogs picked up the story, and suddenly what might have been nothing turned into this huge thing that everyone was talking about. The narrative took on a life of its own, and before you knew it, people were acting like eyewitnesses to something they actually knew nothing about. Here's what really gets me, though. Anyone who has actually been around that scene knows how incredibly careful people are about that stuff. Like, seriously careful. These are professionals who have been navigating public life for years, and they know every camera in the room is potentially pointing at them at any given moment. They understand that one slip-up can be plastered across every gossip site within minutes. The idea that someone would be careless enough to have visible evidence of anything questionable just sitting on their clothes at a high-profile event makes zero sense when you actually think about it. Logically, Kris looked absolutely stunning, by the way. Her party was clearly the event of the season, and she had every right to celebrate in style. The decorations were over the top in the best way possible, and the guest list read like a who's who of entertainment industry royalty. Everyone brought their fashion game, and the atmosphere from what we can see in the photos and videos looked incredible. It was exactly the kind of celebration you'd expect from someone who has built an empire and changed the face of reality television forever. Getting back to Justin, though, we need to talk about why jumping to conclusions here is particularly problematic. He has been open in the past about struggling with various personal challenges and working really hard to overcome them. That kind of vulnerability and honesty deserves respect, not immediate suspicion whenever anything questionable happens. People who have fought battles with substances and come out the other side often face unfair scrutiny for the rest of their lives. Every mistake gets magnified, and every ambiguous situation gets interpreted in the worst possible light. The rush to judgment says more about our culture than it does about what actually happened at that party. We live in a time where everyone wants to be first to break news, even if that news is completely speculative. Social media rewards hot takes and controversial opinions more than measured, thoughtful analysis. The incentive structure is all wrong, which leads to situations like this, where a blurry photo becomes treated as smoking gun evidence of serious allegations. Nobody wants to wait for facts or context, because that's not as exciting as immediate scandal, What's really interesting is how many people claim to know for certain what they were. Looking at, despite the photo quality being questionable at best, image compression and lighting conditions can make all sorts of innocent things look suspicious when you want to see something suspicious. Our brains are wired to find patterns and make quick judgments, but those instincts can lead us astray, especially when we're looking at low-resolution images under poor lighting conditions. Add in confirmation bias where people see what they expect or want to see, and you've got a recipe for false certainty about ambiguous evidence. Hollywood! Party culture is definitely real, and substances do flow pretty freely in certain circles. Anyone who has spent time in that world knows there's a lot going on behind the scenes that the public never sees. But that general reality doesn't mean we can point at any random person in any random photo and assume the worst about them. That's not how evidence or fairness works. Each situation needs to be evaluated on its own merits with actual facts, not just vibes and assumptions. The other thing that strikes me about this whole situation is how quickly it overshadowed what should have been the story. Kris threw an amazing party to celebrate a major milestone, and instead of focusing on that achievement or the fun everyone clearly had, we're all talking about allegations based on a questionable photo. That shift in focus happens constantly in celebrity coverage, where the negative or scandalous angle gets prioritized over everything else. It's exhausting, and it's unfair to everyone involved. People also need to understand that when you make serious accusations about substance use, you're not just gossiping about fashion choices or dating drama. You're potentially impacting someone's reputation, their relationships, their career, and their mental health in really significant ways. Words have weight and consequences, especially when they spread to millions of people within hours. The casual way some folks throw around serious allegations while hiding behind anonymous social media accounts is honestly disturbing when you stop to think about the real human cost. I've seen this pattern play out so many times with different celebrities, and it always follows the same script. Ambiguous photo or video surfaces? Internet detectives declare they've cracked the case. Media outlets report on the speculation as news. The celebrity either addresses it or stays silent while the rumors keep spreading. Eventually, something else comes along, and everyone moves on to the next controversy. Meanwhile, the person at the center of it all has to deal with the lasting impact of having serious allegations attached to their name. Based on essentially nothing, what we should be doing instead is giving people the benefit of the doubt until there's actual reason not to. That doesn't mean being naive or ignoring genuine red flags when they appear. It means not treating every ambiguous situation as confirmation of the worst possible scenario. It means recognizing that we don't actually know what's happening in other people's lives based on a single photograph. It means extending the same grace and understanding that we'd want if we were in their position. The party itself looked like it was an absolute blast, and everyone who attended seemed to have an amazing time celebrating someone they clearly care about. Those are the moments that should matter and that should be remembered. Not wild speculation based on grainy photos that could mean absolutely anything or nothing at all. We need to get better as a culture about distinguishing between facts and assumptions, between evidence and vibes, between what we actually know and what we think might be true. Justin has been through a lot in the public eye over the years, growing up with millions of people, watching his every move and judging his every decision. That kind of pressure would break most people, but he's still here, still making music, still showing up to support people he cares about. That deserves acknowledgement, even if he's not perfect and even if he's made mistakes along the way. We all have. The difference is, most of us don't have our mistakes documented and analyzed and turned into entertainment for the masses. So what's the takeaway from all this? Maybe it's that we need to slow down before jumping to conclusions about people based on limited information. Maybe it's that we should think twice before spreading speculation that could seriously harm someone's reputation. Maybe it's that we need to remember there are real human beings behind these celebrity personas who have feelings and struggles and lives that are far more complex than what we see in photographs. Or maybe it's all of the above. At the end of the day, that white substance on Justin's pants could have been literally anything from a dozen different innocent sources. Without additional context or evidence, treating it as proof of serious wrongdoing is irresponsible and unfair. The internet owes him and everyone else who gets caught up in these speculation storms a lot more thoughtfulness and a lot less rush to judgment. We can do better than this if we actually try. Before I wrap this up, I want to say thank you so much for sticking with me through this whole discussion. If you found this perspective helpful or interesting, definitely subscribe to the channel because I'm breaking down celebrity news and internet drama every single day with the same level of honesty and critical thinking. We need more spaces online where people can talk about this stuff without just piling on or jumping to conclusions, and I'm trying to build that here. So join me and let's figure out this wild world of celebrity culture together.